Okay, I think it's gonna be a short update. Um, just show around. I got O2 sensors in. I welded bungs in. Everything's plugged in. It's working. Um, Another Mazda part that I have abundance of overflow bottle. Just made these brackets up quick, and I started bleeding the coolant out of it. Got the cover on. The harness is almost all the way loomed. I have the cam sensor plug to do. Got to put the fan in still. I'm waiting on 2 relays for that and fuel pump. Fuse box is mounted. I need to come up with a cover next. Computer is also mounted. I just have to wire in the OBD2 port is next. And I gotta fish these tranny plugs down there, plug that crap in. And I got the key plugged in for right now. Just the fuel pump's just wired in here, so. Got a brand new key switch from Napa. So that works. It's pretty loud. Need to come up with mufflers, like a 2-to-1, with one muffler or 2 twin mufflers. Uh, Shifters kind of together until I get the shift linkage to proper linkage at the junkyard. Um, I got tomorrow. I'm stopping to get some brake line fittings and 2 unions. The rear brake line is leaking, so once I get that sorted, I could probably drive it. Also, at the junkyard, I have to get the IAT sensor for the intake. I have to come up with an intake, mount the fan. I got the zip ties for that. Right there. And I got the taillights out. I got a fuel gauge I'm going to try and make work. I'd like to put a cigarette lighter in here. I think these are the relays I can use for the... These are off of Volvo or something like that. Yeah, Volvo. And supposedly they work really good with the Ford fan that I have. These are 80 amp. I think they're a little too big, so I think I'm going to get 30 or 40 amps. Got a couple toggle switches. And then I finished this up today. I'm pretty happy with this. This tailgate. Well, first I was building a tailgate the other night out of some 2x8 oak boards. I was just going to put like a C channel in here and then just sled the boards in from the top down. And I was hammering away, and my buddy called me and he said he had a truck for sale. So I went to go pick it up, and he's like, "What were you banging on when I was on the phone with you?" And I told him I was building a tailgate out of wood, and he goes, "Oh, you need a Studebaker tailgate? I have one." So I'm like, "Yeah, sure you do. The only fucking part that I need, you have it." Turns out he had this truck's a 51. This tailgate's off a 64 Studebaker Champ pickup. It's about 8 inches too big, so I had to cut like 4 off here and 4 here, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. And it was brown. I'll insert a picture somewhere of it, what it looked like. The gap here is a little ridiculous. I don't know why, but this side looks good to me. Just made quick hinge. Just got to add chains to it, and that'll be great. So add chains to hold that up. These are just eBay LED lights. One, they're going to stay on all the time, and the other ones are going to be brake lights. I'm also getting license plate lights. They're bolts, and they're just LED lights that shine on there. I have them on my motorcycle. They work pretty good. So they're going to go on there, and I'll wire those to the running lights, so they'll come on when you flip the switch on. This is just like stitch welded here. These are the parts that I cut off that were out here. So I just to stiffen it up a little bit. But the main part says Studebaker. It's better than wood. And that big sheet that I got for free, if you remember, I made a roll pan out of it. That blue that I made the floor pans out of, that shitty material that welds like crap. It's got like a factory rolled edge on there, and it worked really good for a roll pan. This is within like a 16th left or right to make it perfectly center in there, so I'm also pretty happy with that. A bunch of little things cleaning that up. I gotta run the wires for that. That'll be simple. Gotta do the relay. The wires still for the fuel pump. There's not much going on here. I just have to build like a little angle bracket that keep the battery from sliding this way. I think that'll be perfect. And then just got a little positive post. It's a little closer to wiper assembly, so I'll just cover that with tape when it's done, and then tighten those terminals up. This wire's temporarily there until I get my another wire, because this is for my derby car setup. And hopefully I'll get the chance to, I gotta scrap a car tomorrow, hopefully I'll have a chance to work on this some more. Just trying to get this update up now before they get too far behind on the updates. I want to get the fan in there. I really want to get the brake line done too tomorrow. And I just want to take the truck around the block. I'll be so happy. Then I can work on headlights or something. I'll wire these in temporarily. I think I got the coolant mostly bled, and the transmission's I think there. I just gotta drive it just to make sure it's warm enough. And then intake, I think I'm about to get a silicone boot that comes off the intake and comes this way. It's like a 130 degree, because 90 would be here. So yeah, I think they sell the 130 and just run it this way. Put the intake in this area over here. There's plenty of hood clearance. And then I also mount the hood. Hopefully it still fits. It should. I really want to get this sucker back down on the ground and drive it. That's my biggest concern right now. But I'm so happy with this. I'll put the picture. I should have already put it in the video by now, but this tailgate and back end I'm so happy with. And just a bunch of little stuff like this mirror I wanted to throw in there, and the gun rack, and just little details that make me aesthetically pleased. But we're almost ready to drive it. Along then it said the fuel gauge, so we'll be close pretty soon here. A couple more weeks and I think I'll be totally done with it. Maybe not even that long if I have enough time to work on it.